Alright, so here today, I've kind of wanted to talk about this because now we're at this point where we're getting a brand new Scarlet, theoretically, right? That is a Scarlet that we currently have in the game. Yes, it is similar to the situation with you having Snow White being a free character and the current Snow White. For some reason, I'm going to make this abundantly clear, a lot of people are comparing that it's going to be the same situation, where we get like a dumbed down version of Scarlet versus the other Scarlet, and then in that situation with Snow White, it was a dumbed down version of Snow White. That is completely different. They're not going to give you a broken free character that's going to rival that of a Pilgrim they charged for it technically earlier on in the game. For people that wanted to get the character, they had to technically keep summoning, yeah? So it's not that they're going to give you a free character that's like better than that. Makes sense, right? But when it comes to Scarlet, what are they going to do? Are they going to make the character better, worse, on par? What do you think? Today, let's jump into it. I took a poll. I want to also take your opinions in the comments down below. Today, let's just have some fun with it and let's check it out. So I released this poll over here today, basically like an hour ago. It's almost 2 hours, but we'll just say an hour ago. Should the new Scarlet be stronger than the current Scarlet? 50% said yes, stronger. 39% said meh, on par. And then 11% said no, current Scarlet has to be best. So 11% of the community leaned on that one. 30, or rather, let's say 40%. Basically, it's between the two options being yes, stronger, and meh, on par. First things first, I am just curious on how they actually do this entire thing and how they handle it. They kind of are dealing with the entire aspect that Red Hood was mid, so people don't want that. Mainly, all you want from a Pilgrim is for them to be good enough that you're using them more so than anybody else, right? That is the point of a Pilgrim. Yeah, that's kind of the point. So that's all the players really want. But there's that argument that's like popping up in my comments more so, being like, if we already have Scarlet, do we need the Scarlet? Like, why would I summon if the Scarlet is just less than the current Scarlet? I'd rather just have my current Scarlet and run away with that. There's also the community saying like, oh, this is a chance for players that don't have Scarlet to have a chance with a great Scarlet that is sort of on par with that Scarlet, or better if so, correct? So different sides of the community right now, which again, I'm curious on where you land on. Right now, from my poll, clearly it looks like yes, stronger, or meh, on par. Is about there. I wonder by morning if this changes as we get towards the 1,000 vote poll. I can't speak. Vote area of the poll. There we go. I wonder if how much it changes, but definitely I do think that like the sentiment I saw on Reddit and in my comment section originally is that they're not going to make her better, but they want them to make her better, correct? So again, let me know what you think. I'm gonna read through these comments though, because I'm curious what they say. I wanted to be lore accurate as possible, so weaker Scarlet to be honest, but she had to do something good with a certain niche in order for her to sell. Again, that's what people are saying also, like, you know, are they going to make like another Burst 3 Scarlet and then have her replace that slot? Or are they going to make her like a Burst 2 or a Burst 1? Are we going to get like our first ever insane per se Burst 2, you know, kind of Pilgrim here, right? Like in the game currently, we have a lot of Pilgrims. Burst 2 is not like the biggest, I think, stack thing. I'm going to pull it up on my other monitor here just to check it, just to make sure my talking point is correct. But I think on the Burst 2 aspect, let's see, Burst 2, any manufacturer, Pilgrim. We have Nilister and Noah, right? Nilister's pretty good, can't lie, but maybe this is a chance to give us a Scarlet that is, you know, Burst 2. And then she doesn't replace that of the current Scarlet, but she just brings her own thing to the battlefield. Yeah, per se, she might be more of a DPS character because that's kind of Scarlet's personality. So seeing her to be like a Burst 2 support is going to be kind of freaky to me. Like, wouldn't you say that she's more so like a, you know, ruthless killer in a way when it comes to it? But I am curious, right? Again, if you think about it, also people are saying like the lore-wise, she gained all that experience with like the sword. But in comparison, like, wasn't she like evil? Or like, not evil, but like a monster when it came to killing? Like, she was like, oh, we have to do it. We got to fight everyone except Lilith, right? But that's there. So I wonder, is it like, is she stronger? Is she worse? Because again, time obviously gets you better and stuff, right? I'm talking on my rear here, but let's just go with it. So I am curious how they do it. If it's like a Burst 3 power creep of the regular Scarlet, what happens, right? Players want that, right? Because there are players that can never guarantee Scarlet. So are you one of those players? And if you are, well, you want that. And if you're a player that already has Scarlet, you don't want your Scarlet to be power crept, right? So like that's the entire situation also. People are like, I don't want my Scarlet to be power crept, but there's players that exist, a lot of them, that don't have Scarlet, right? So at the end of the day, both sides are going to be there, so we really can't get like a pure, concise, and correct answer, but let me know again what you think. Kind of conflicted. It makes sense lore-wise for her to be stronger. I don't know what is kind of conflicted. If it makes sense lore-wise for her to be stronger or weaker, as she seemed more ruthless before her now drunken version of herself. So it might take sense to be stronger, but by a gameplay standpoint, I don't want them to be on par, but not with similar skill sets. Yeah, the way that I'm going to say it, so I don't know if someone says this here or this person was like getting to my point here. My thing is I want her to be on par, but she serves a different niche, correct? I want her to be a broken Pilgrim that can serve a niche that doesn't power creep Scarlet, right? Like, oh, now I lost my Scarlet. Scarlet's now useless because I got a better Scarlet. No. Scarlet that serves a niche that Scarlet doesn't, right? That Scarlet's like a DPS Scarlet. That's what she is. Is this Scarlet gonna Burst 2 kind of do something that helps the team and then also has raw damage? What is it going to be? That's my curiosity point. I don't want to Burst 1 Pilgrim. We have Dorothy in a way, right? So for like the Pilgrim slot, I personally really want it to be kind of opened. Yeah? Because you have Dorothy, you have Rapunzel, right? So Burst 2 could really use a character, and I hope this Scarlet can fit that. Just my opinion, though. I don't know if anybody wants that also, but that's there. I like to be on par. Power creep only leads to more power creep. If current Scarlet got power crept, it means the OG Scarlet you pull next month can be also power crept by another Pilgrim 6 months later, which is true, correct? To a degree. She just needs to be good. People act like there is, because there's a new Scarlet, you can't use the old one in different teams. Exactly. That's like a great point. Like, absolutely cooking. There's 5 teams. Just use the on a different team, right? Maybe both Scarlets are just DPS queens, and you just swap them on different teams for solo raid and whatnot. Again, this game desperately needs new content where it's team-based, where it's multiple team-based, or something of the sort, because I do see it, and it's slowly getting to that point. Yeah, it's getting a bit dry on the content aspect. I get it. We get great updates. I'm very happy for that. But it's like we need a core game mode ASAP. That's something pushing. I hope that beautiful dev video we get at the end of the year, I hope that first off it's there. If we do get it, we need a content that's like team-based. Maybe extend just like solo raid 5 teams, but it's a different content or something that emphasizes more team building. Because once you have your teams for like standard interceptions, it's over, and then story, it's kind of easy to get your standard team. So hopefully they expand that, because getting more Scarlets, getting more characters for Pilgrims and whatnot, you're gonna get a point where it's like, oh, does it replace my Red Hood though? And like most core players who don't really like focus solo raid, what happens to them, right? And I don't know. I'm speaking again on my rear here. Don't push your power creep. Again, partially true. People were saying like you don't want Red Hood to power creep anybody. At that point, no one's gonna power creep anybody. Games always have it where it's like at some point you're gonna get a character just better than the standards. It's gonna happen, right? It's not that, oh, I have Modernia and now I can never use Modernia because Red Hood is so much better than Modernia that Modernia dies. Modernia is still great, correct? I don't need Red Hood, but I have Modernia. At least I can have Red Hood if I'm a player that again plays the game. So per se, don't agree 100% with every power creep point. Like every time we get a Pilgrim, it's like, oh, they're gonna power creep. Let's not push for power creep, right? So it's like, I mean, your day 1 Pilgrims are still like acing the game. You still have them, right? Scarlet still aces the game. Rapunzel, a great freaking healer, still doing wonderful in the game. So Modernia, right, the first Pilgrim ever released, is still like used constantly. Scarlet, Snow White, right? So there's options, but definitely like power creep is definitely not right. It's like at a point you can't always say like, oh, we can never get it. It's gonna happen at a point naturally. That's how it goes with games. Like if anybody says that bunny girls aren't they power creeped in a way, right? They're gonna be like the best new support, and then Tia Naga create another thing, but it's like it's not power creep. They're just 2 different teams in a way. So I don't know. My opinion. I'm speaking again at my rear. Wouldn't it make sense lore wise? I'm sure she is more skilled now, but for Snow White versus Small White, present one would be weaker since she doesn't have her whole 7 dwarves arsenal and they aren't as maintained, but she gained more combat experience. Okay. It's the main reason why it shouldn't have been a gotcha skin. If the character is mid, people are gonna cry, making her until they make her OP. Again, regardless, we shouldn't release a mid Pilgrim, but it should be just good. She should be still a very good Pilgrim, right? It's like a limited banner. You get 3 of these characters a year. 3 of these a year. So at least let them shine in a way amongst the other roster. That's just my, again, 10 cents, but who knows? She should have a different role, but be OP at it. Exactly. That's what I'm going for. Weaker since she herself said during Overzone her sword arts are growing. 100% true, right? All Pilgrims should be strong. I say buff Isabel. Okay, listen. People gotta stop. I don't know if this person's doing it, but this Isabel thing in my comments has to stop. All right? I get it. I pulled Isabel 2 times in a row on video. I got it. I don't know if this is the person's doing it like that, but everyone in my comments keeps bringing up Isabel. It's the funniest thing in the world. I keep getting insulted by it and like reminding me of it. Like, go. Remember, don't be negative. That pull could have been Isabel. That's what my comments have looked like for the while now. So I don't know, but yeah, buff Isabel. I'm with it. I have a duped out Isabel. Please just buff her. All right. I was trying to pull Noah finally, or Haran. Still don't have those 2. And I was like, all right, what is it? Isabel. Next 2 minutes later, what is it? Isabel. I pulled 2 Pilgrims. 2 Pilgrims. What are the chances? The worst of them all. How? I don't even know. I think the old one should still be more powerful than her past self. It should tally with the story, and yes, this should not be power creep. Okay. Yes. People are misunderstanding that they're not the same person. What is it? They're not the same person. Same model, but not the same person. Overzone. She literally says she received her sword from her sister. I think this person's not with like the thing. We confirmed this. Okay, it's fine. I don't really care if it's disappointing if she is in the new Pilgrim. Honestly, if she's not the strongest unit in the game, then the community will just cry about it again until she's broken. More so, it was because it was the first anniversary. That's kind of why we cried. It's like, dude, first Annie, at least make her better than mid. So definitely, again, we're all on different opinions here, but still, of course, bro, they want to release a new Scarlet. If not stronger than the old one, we'll see again. I don't really care. I wanted her to be burst 2, 20-second CD at least, but don't think so. Again, we need a burst 2 Pilgrim. We need one, so I'm hoping they do it. Not another just DPS burst 3. Remember, we got Modernia already. Kind of don't need it. We did get like a triple, right, where she's a burst 1, burst 2, burst 3. But you kind of use her burst 3 the most because of that damage, that just raw damage. So I'm going to consider her technically a burst 3. Then burst 1, you have Dorothy, correct? So let's fill up that burst 2 slot. Let's see what we can do there. But I am curious. Both should be stronger. And then we have lore-wise, no, but who cares? Games really care about the lore. Making a character OP or weak. Look at gotchas like Dokkan, DBL, FGO, etc. I personally want her to be on par or slightly weaker. Yeah, again, I think the best way to do it is on par, but in a different niche. Or on par, I don't know, do you want on par in the same niche? What would you summon then? You're like, oh, I already have my Scarlet, I'm good. If you use her on a separate team, right, it's like 2 Scarlets on different teams, yeah? That could work, but yeah, I'm curious though, correct? I would say the best option is on par, serving a different niche, or like that's the only one that works. Like on par, but yeah, or just on par and serves the same niche. But what happens is if you don't have that old Scarlet, at least you got someone that you can guarantee that can help you the same way, correct? Like if that's the case, then it's fine. Sure, it might throw some of the lore out the window if it really is like, yeah, she perfected the arts of it all and she's just broken now. But if it is like meh, like on par in a way, then it's good for players that, you know, kind of want her and they have an option, not a guarantee. So again, to each their own. My opinion's out there, your opinion's out there. Let me know. Just talk out loud, just seeing what you want to say. So let me know. I don't know. Yeah, cool.